Welcome back to CBS News Texas here at 7. Our election coverage continues tonight, but this time with our media partners at Texas Monthly. One of the biggest races this election cycle, of course, was the U.S. Senate race right here in Texas. And some are still asking what happened to Colin Allred. We saw a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement. So we've got with us tonight Michael Hardy. Michael, thank you for joining us tonight.
Good to be here.
So first thing I want to ask you, polls. I know this is always a big talker after elections, but leading into this one, it showed a pretty tight race between the incumbent Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Colin Allred, right? But this race pretty much ended early on. Cruz declared victory early on, especially before some of the bigger blue counties in Dallas were counted. What changed from the campaign up to Election Day, do you think?
Well, I'm not sure that anything changed. I think the pollsters got it wrong. They got it wrong across Texas, just as they got it wrong across the country. Polls did not reflect the level of support that Donald Trump enjoyed or that Ted Cruz enjoyed in Texas.
Yeah, I think anyone would agree with you with that. Cruz, we know in the past, this will be his third term as a senator. He's had some likability issues in the last 12 years. He's also faced some criticism, surrounding the whole electric grid failure and kind of escaping during that deadly freeze. What does this race tell us about voters in specifically suburban counties across our state?
Well, Cruz was significantly less popular than Donald Trump across the state. He ran about 5 points behind Trump statewide, and he had similar margins in suburban counties. Even suburban counties, that voted for Trump narrowly did not vote for Cruz. Cruz is just not as popular as Donald Trump is, but he was still popular enough to win overall in the state by nearly 9 points. So it really was not a close race.
Yeah, and I guess my curiosity leads me to this question. Something we talked about during election night coverage was, the changing landscape of Texas and how many transplants, as we call them, moving to the area. In your opinion, do you think that'll ever have any sort of impact on significant races like this?
Well, I think the transplants have not had the impact that Democrats hoped they would. Democrats thought the transplants would shift the state to the left. Instead, it seems more likely that they're shifting the state to the right. A lot of people are coming to Texas because they like the state's Republican politics. Even people from California, the ones who are coming here are the ones who are potential Republican voters. So it's not at all clear that transplants are going to turn the state blue. In fact, it seems like transplants are keeping it red. Interesting
distinction for Dems who may be trying to strategize on how to change that. Can you talk to me about what we can expect for the Texas legislature? I mean, there's some big items that Abbott really wants to get accomplished, school vouchers for one. And then we know Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan, there was a lot of drama and controversy, especially with him and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick last session. So how do you think that's all going to kind of fail out as we get to the new session?
Well, Dade Phelan is in a tight race to retain control of the speakership. It's going to come down to the wire. There's a lot of opposition to him. So it remains to be seen who's going to be the next Speaker of the House. In terms of legislative priorities, school vouchers have been a priority of Governor Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Patrick. It seems very likely that the Texas legislature is going to pass some version of school vouchers in this coming session. It's unclear how wide the scope of that will be, but given the number of legislators who were opposed to school vouchers who have been defeated, it's safe to say Abbott has a majority.
It'll be interesting to see how that kind of pans out, too, with the number of school closures and consolidations we've had to cover, especially here in North Texas. That'll definitely be interesting to see how the vouchers, if that passes, how it affects that. The last thing I want to ask you is there anything that stood out to you or even surprised you during election night? I mean, it was a long night, right? But anything that got your eyes going?
Well, just how well Republicans did in South Texas. Particularly the Rio Grande Valley, which has been a Democratic stronghold for generations. Many of those counties went for Donald Trump. There were double-digit swings away from Democrats in county after county. There were counties that had voted for Hillary Clinton, that voted for Barack Obama, that voted for Joe Biden, that are now voting for Trump. So that is a major victory for Republicans, and it's a major warning signal for Democrats statewide.
Absolutely. Well said, Michael Hardy. Thank you so much for tonight's discussion. Remember, you can check out his election coverage right now on TexasMonthly.com. We'll be right back.